Hello, Amber Ludwig here, your online business development expert and creator of the AuthenticLeaderAcademy.com. Today, we have a really great question from Frank for our Authentic Leader Q&A, and check out his awesome question.
Hi Amber, it's Frank from Taking Shape, and we just got done watching the video on organization and prioritizing, and we're trying, as you know, to get our whole sort of social media to-do list set up and organized, and we're wondering how long do you two questions actually. How long do you take typically to write a blog post, and how do you combine video with that? Because I know that we talked about that, and I'm sure that's something we're going to be covering, but we'd kind of like to get started on it. So just wondering about those two questions: how long it takes you to write a blog post typically, and how do you go about making sure that there's a video intro to it. All right, thanks so much.
These are great questions, Frank, and I'm really glad that you brought this up because I think that blogging and video are two of the most powerful things that you can do to get your content out into the world and help you convert lookers into buyers. And I am all about blogging, and I'm all about video, so that's why this is going to be such a great video response for you here today. I would say that in terms of how long it takes me to write a blog post, it totally depends, and I know we all hate that answer. Sometimes I can write a blog post in as little as 20 minutes. If it's maybe 500 words and it's a little bit more general and it just kind of flows right out of me because it's a topic I'm really confident in, which is mostly what I write about. So most blog posts are going to take me about 20 minutes. And then in terms of like once I'm in WordPress and I'm adding all the tags and the images and the search engine optimization stuff, that might take me an extra 5 to 10 minutes. So let's say each blog post on average is going to take me about a half an hour to create. I'm right now blogging oh my gosh, probably 4 or 5 times a week between my two main websites. I've got insightfuldevelopment.com and I have amberludwig.com, which are my two primary blogs. And the video or the website URL that you're seeing below me, Authentic Leader Academy, does not have a blog, but it's a premier membership site that I run. Frank, I know that you're a member. So I'm writing about 5 blog posts a week, and I'm doing that because I know it's one of the highest uses of my time. So that's about how long it's going to take me, unless I'm doing a much more specific post. And I'm going to give you an example of that in just a minute. If I'm doing a longer, more specific post, it can take me upwards of 45 minutes to an hour, and there's definitely value for those. And then I do a lot of video-based blog posts. So in the next few screens, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to my website, and I'm going to show you some examples of my blog posts to really drive the point home. All right, so here we are on my amberludwig.com website. And if we scroll down past the home page, I've got 2 most recent posts here. And one is just another Q&A just like this one from Jackie Ruka. And if we click over to this blog post, this is one example of how I integrate video into a blog post. So I have my title, I have a short little introduction on what Jackie has asked me, and then I have the video straight from YouTube. Oh, there's my pop-up opt-in box. And then I add a little bit of content down here, and that's it. So that's my video-based blog post for my Authentic Leader Q&A posts. And basically, again, I just give that introduction, and then I have a 3-point call to action after that. Another type of video post that I do is my Authentic Leader podcast posts. And these are more like video trainings. They're about 30 minutes in length, and I've got 20 of them listed in here, and they keep going. By the time you see this video, there's going to be more. But if we click over to this one, what blog topics to write about, you'll see that I have a little bit more of a teaser. It's very specific bullet points of what you're going to learn in this training video. Then I integrate my YouTube video here. It's about 30 minutes long. And then I always end with a call to action. So make a comment, share a couple of takeaways, and share this on social media. So that's an example of how I would integrate a video into my blog post. But now let's just look at straight text blog posts for a minute. So I've got some of my latest training ones here, and let me just go down to this one. Pop-up opt-in boxes using Opt-in Monster, annoying or effective. This is one of my more popular blog posts right now, and you can always find it in my archives, or just do a search here in the sidebar for it, or a Google search, and you'll find it. But look at this one, it's much more content. So I start out by bringing out the problem and posing a question to my audience. Then I have statistics to drive the point home, more statistics here about why this proposed solution is such a good idea. Then I have my test using Opt-in Monster with my results, and then step-by-step instructions to set up your own pop-up opt-in box with WordPress. So I go through the pricing plan that I decided to purchase and why I chose the Pro plan. I talk about exactly how to install this plugin into WordPress and how to create your first pop-up opt-in box with screenshots so you can see exactly how I set up mine. This is the one you just saw. And then I even go through all of these different configuration fields, and I list out all of the settings that I personally use for my opt-in box. Then I talked about testing this process, and I have parting words of wisdom. So then people know, the call to action and what to do next. So you're seeing this is a much more specific, detailed blog post with more content, more statistics, and a lot of screenshots. This one probably took me closer to an hour to create. Now, if we head over to insightfuldevelopment.com, which is our done for you services website, we have the WordPress and social media and all of that. But over here at my blog, and I also have an archive section here, we have our latest training posts. And this is another kind of more specific, longer one that I created for FreshBooks, which is the system I use and frickin' absolutely love on every level. So I talk about why I started to look for a system like FreshBooks. It's basically an online entrepreneur's dream for easy accounting and managing expenses and creating invoices. And so I talk about what I needed and what you can do with FreshBooks, again, with screenshots. So look how detailed I got in this blog post. And then I talked about the cost, what program or which system that I ended up using, the $30 a month one, and why, and I have my call to action again there at the end. So this one probably took me more like 30 to 45 minutes to create. But if we go back to the blog, and I'll just show you one more here, try to find a shorter one. 7 website strategies that boost your credibility. This is an example of one that probably took me more like 30 minutes total. So I had a little bit of an introduction, and then I went right into the 7 points with a short paragraph for each. And this one is probably, 600-700 words, and it took me about a half an hour. So I really like to mix up my blog posts to keep it interesting. So some of them are longer, some of them are shorter and more general, some of them have video included, and that way I feel like it's going to be, most beneficial and easiest for everybody. And what I would encourage, if you start adding video into your blog posts, which I absolutely recommend, because now what you're doing is you're getting the benefit of Google indexing that blog post and driving traffic back to your website. But now when you upload that video to YouTube, you're getting traffic back to your website. And if your blog post rocks, then people are going to share it on social media, which drives even more traffic back to your website. So it's a really great way to do it. But what I was going to say is that I recommend, if you decide to do a video post, look into taking it one step further and start adding audio into that post as well. And it's actually not that hard to do. If you were to Google, you convert YouTube video to MP3 audio file, there are free websites out there where you just insert the YouTube video URL and it automatically downloads just the audio from that video. So now you have a video and an audio file. The video file stays on YouTube, but then what you can do is inside of WordPress in your blog post, you've got the introduction, then you've got your video, and either above or below that you can say, want to listen to just the audio, question mark, and then insert an audio player in that same blog post, because there are lots of people that would download an audio and listen to it later like a podcast, or maybe they just don't want to watch a video because they have a slower internet connection and that really bogs down their computer. So there are other reasons why you might want to add audio into that blog post. If you don't know how to add an audio player into your site, Google, how do I add audio player into WordPress website? With one of the last several recent updates from WordPress, they actually allowed the functionality where you upload that MP3 audio file into your media library just like you would an image, but then there's an option when you go to insert it into the blog post where it says insert as audio file or as audio player or something like that. So then it's literally as easy as just uploading the file, selecting the audio player, and now you have an audio player in your blog post too. So it just is really easy. If you were to add the text introduction and call to action, embed the YouTube video into the blog post, and add in that audio player, now you're giving access to everybody, and it really is not that much effort once you get into the routine of it. So Frank, I hope that answers your question well. Let's continue the discussion. Let me know any additional questions that you have as you're viewing this video, or if there's somebody else watching this video that has another suggestion of what they might like to add about different blog post types or how to integrate video with blogging, leave a comment below. And before you leave, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get notifications when more videos like this come out on a weekly basis. And until then, check out the AuthenticLeaderAcademy.com. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at what you find at that website. And I just want to thank you so much for your time and listening to this answer, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks a lot.